so smart. They are always coming out with these new ways, right? So it's crazy. So yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
it's so true. I couldn't believe it. I called one of my best NFT friends and I said, I cannot believe I fell victim for a wallet clear. I feel like such an idiot. I know it's happened to a lot of people out there, and I just want to assure them that it happens to all of us. So obviously, once you learn your lesson, you learn your lesson. But just again, heed those rules, read those transactions, don't interact with anonymously airdropped NFTs.
Yeah, and I will be like going in with the first question, and I will also want to say that you can type any question in our mutual chat inside
Oh,
the
great.
Decentraland, and I will read them out. But my first question I will start out would be, what would be your recommendations for the new projects which are starting up? So you said that SEC is kind of might make regulations harder and etc. So to avoid all the problems while raising funds for NFT projects or starting over, so what will be your
Yes.
couple recommendations for the newcomers?
Well, I think what the key point is, and I'm going to answer this understanding that there's the law that's applicable right now, and that there's also a lot of rules that are not in place. But the bottom line is to emphasize the art whenever you're creating an NFT project. The reason why NFTs themselves right now are not considered securities that are regulated by the SEC is because they're like digital collectibles. Frankly, in my online course, Metaverse Mastery and Metaverse Beginnings, I refer to NFTs as digital collectibles. And I do that purposely because I want to make sure that people understand that the purpose of these collectibles is the fun of the collectible themselves. Yes, if they increase in value, great. But no one who was an initial Bored Ape Yacht Club holder probably thought it would go up to $250,000, $300,000, $500,000. People bought it because they thought it was cool. So if you're an NFT project owner, to avoid that whole issue about securities and whether or not you got to comply, just make sure that you emphasize the art. This is a project that people should buy into because they want to be part of your community. They want to enjoy the art that is. So I'm thinking about a lot of different projects. I mentioned Catalina Whales. Obviously, VeeFriends is the same. They're emphasizing their art or their utility. If you do that, you're never going to have problems with the law.
Yes, totally agree. And thanks for the recommendations. And
Yes.
just want to read out, Carl wrote in the chat that sending some token to a trash wallet more than you would expect. So what will be like the solution, right? So we all get spam tokens on our wallets. So yeah, feedback on that.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Noda?
Yeah. If you can comment on that, like.
Yeah. So I mean, Trash Wallet, as Noto talks about, is a wallet where we send all the anonymous NFTs. Listen, you don't have to have these NFT or these anonymous NFTs airdropped to a Trash Wallet. It just, for a lot of us, it is the best way not to ever get accidentally scammed or trapped. So, and we also don't know what the future is for these anonymous NFTs. They're going to get more and more sophisticated. There may be ones where you click on them within your OpenSea collection, and that's somehow going to transmit some information. We don't know yet. So that's why I say get them out of your wallets immediately. So you can create a trash wallet by just like going on MetaMask and actually creating a wallet. It's very easy. You have hundreds, thousands of wallets if you want, labeling it trash, and then making sure that address is in a place that's safe where you keep it. And then every time you receive one of these anonymous BS NFTs, just click send and send it to that wallet and then never access that wallet again. So that works the same with Sol if you're doing Magic Eden trades. Always having that trash wallet. In my case, I think it's a great way to keep your collections organized and to try to just push away any of that fraud.
Sure, totally agree. And thanks for your feedback on that topic. And let's wait for one more question. So Carl is writing one more question. Is there any dangers associated with doing the transfer to trash wallet, such as huge? Yeah, there is. Yeah, so.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you're going to have a gas fee attended to it. Now, if you're doing solo ones, you don't really have to worry about it. It's very minimal. But yeah, I think it would wait for my gas to be down before I'm doing the transaction. You don't want to be like spending $5 or worse, 25 bucks to send it to a trash wallet. But yes, you're going to have to face that. And, I will say this, OpenSea, one of the, obviously the top NFT marketplaces, is doing their best. I don't know if you've seen this, but if you go into your collection in OpenSea right now, you'll see a little tab, and that actually is where they stuff these anonymous NFTs in this little hidden portion. So they are trying to get it out of there. And then also you'll see from time to time, I'll have an NFT pop up in my collection. And then like 2 days later, it'll say NFT has been transferred out. So the marketplaces are aware of this. They're trying to do their best. But I like, if it's sitting there for a while, I like to get it out. And I don't have a problem if I pay $3 in gas just to get this thing out. I lost like $1,000 on
to be safe, right?
my favorite NFT. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, and I think we have time for one more last question.
Sure.
It's a great question from our auditory. That would you think working outside of the US could be better for the regulatory purposes, like from legal point of view, right? So basically, imagine you're working from.
Yes, absolutely. I do. I think we're going to see some of the most stringent regulations when it comes to cryptocurrency and NFTs coming out of America. President Biden actually issued an executive order in March of this year, basically saying we want as a country to get ahead of this. And by the end of the year, which by the way is in a couple of months, he wants legislation on the table to regulate not only cryptocurrency, stable coins, but NFTs. So I don't know, you know how Congress works. It's very slow, but the point of it is America has I was going to use a bad word, but they have a penchant for regulating this space. So yes, if you have the ability to do a lot of your trades, to start your project in Puerto Rico or obviously in Asia somewhere, that's probably the best. That's probably going to be your best bet for avoiding law issues.
Yeah, that's interesting, and also it's interesting to know what about like kind of if I'm American and I want to invest in NFTs or fund some project, right? So lots of people have the question like, would I be in any risk or like if I'm US citizen, right? So can you tell us more about it, and then we will.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest risk right now is not so much. I mean, fractionalization is an issue. We talked about that in today's talk. If you're doing a fractionalization project, you may be regulated as security, but most people aren't doing that. So your real issue is capital gains. If you're an American citizen, one of the problems is cashing out. You got your Bored Ape for 2 ETH, and then a year and a half later, it's worth $300,000. You want to cash that out. That's a big problem because you're going to pay a lot of short-term, in that case, or maybe a little long-term capital gains taxes, which could amount to 20 or 30%. So I think for Americans, what I always do in my course, Metaverse Mastery, I always talk about playing the game for cryptocurrency, keeping your money in crypto and not cashing out. In the next few years, crypto is going to be an actual currency. I make that joke because we really do a lot of transactions right now with cryptocurrency, but in the next few years, we will. So keeping your money in the game and not cashing out and having to pay taxes, whether you're an American citizen or a French citizen or, a Japanese citizen, is probably your best bet, because what will end up happening is you'll have profits, you'll be doing well, but you're going to be able to use that money in the systems to buy services, to buy products, and then not have to pay taxes on it. So I think the best thing right now, and I'm encouraging all of my community in Metaverse Beginnings to keep their money in the system. Let's make some money, incremental money on our NFTs, on our virtual land, which I'm a big proponent about. And then once you can cash out, once you make a sale, just make sure that ETH that you made on that thing, that's stuffed. I wouldn't move it to stable coins just yet. I would actually leave it as ETH, let that increase in value, and then buy more and more NFTs with that. Don't cash out if you can possibly afford to.
Sure. So yeah, that's amazing. Great opening of our webinar conference. Thanks, Ian, for joining in. And we're gonna stay here. Please don't go, because we are moving now to panel discussion with you and couple more interesting people. One of them is Yaroslav, Mr. V, founder and CEO of MetaMask, joining us right now. And we will have like 30 minutes panel discussion about how to utilize Decentraland for business. This is like very interesting topic, even for me, because I myself built the business on top of the metaverses. And we're gonna be having Mr. V from MetaMask and William Gomez, CEO of Metazone.io. actually, like, we invited all the amazing companies who are building not project but companies in the metaverses. So basically, it's very interesting to see this panel discussion, and I will let Mr. V and William Gomez to introduce shortly themselves, and after that we can go through these panels, and I will be also asking a couple of questions. Hello, Mr. V, Yaroslav.
Yes, hello, Noda. Hello, guys. Great to see you all gathered here. So my name is Yaroslav, and I'm a CEO and co-founder of MetaX project. So today we are hosting this discussion. I'm in this panel. I hope it will be very interesting, and it will come in handy for all the viewers. And I would like to greet all the vendors and all the people who visited actually the very small exhibition and who is present at today's conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. V. And William, please.
Hey, Noto, good to see you again, man.
Good to see you.
Welcome, everybody. My name is William. I am the co-founder and CEO of MetaZone, which is the app store for the Metaverse. And we've been around since 2019, early days of beta in Decentraland. And it's the change that we've seen so far has been quite massive, especially with the DAO, new people coming into the Metaverse, and then our platform is focused on providing different ways to kind of monetize your land, right? Create businesses as NFTs, if you will. And so happy to talk a lot about that a little bit more later on during our conversation.
Yeah. So I propose we have a very interesting, like, informal conversation about how we feel openly. Basically, my first question will go to each of us. We can start from Mr. V and then go around. Will be like, how do you see Decentraland used for business? Like, are we who are doing business in Decentraland kind of just having fun and trying something, or you guys, like, how do you see, like, doing business in Decentraland? So I think, like, William has the longest experience in all of us doing business in Decentraland. So yeah, it would be amazing to start with William and then we go to Mr. V.
Yeah, as far as businesses go, I think it's building a business in Decentraland is quite difficult. Clearly, we need more users, more adoption of virtual worlds. I want to say metaverses, but really, I think I agree with. There was a book by Matthew Ball where he says that in the future, we're not even going to call the virtual worlds a metaverse. It's just going to be, the internet, right? Pretty soon. But creating a business in the virtual worlds has been pretty difficult. I think we need to discover sort of like the biggest pain points right now is just creating content. And that's pretty much why we create our platform, so that we can have developers and creators come in and make that content, and then we can easily distribute that content in a click. And so it's been difficult, but I think the tide is starting to turn. And now it's time to figure out the different business models that blockchain really enables us. So not necessarily like, different business models where I've seen one where Netflix potentially could have some sort of NFT that grants you perpetual access to the platform, or staking some ETH in order to gain you that access. So different business models like this are starting to be kind of discussed internally as well as like within the community. And I think that's the most important thing, to figure out the biggest pain points and to tackle that with a technical solution. Because I feel like that's the only way that you're going to be able to create something where others can leverage and take advantage. And then most importantly, have sustainability across the board.
That's amazing. Totally agree with you. So yeah, it's like big hustle, I say, at this moment. Like, you need like lots of nerves and persistence to move forward and to believe what's gonna come. But I'm so happy. Like, I know all of you guys who are involved in this, like doing amazing things for Decentraland and doing like real businesses. And I want to go to Mr. V, what he thinks about it. So.
Yeah, I should totally agree with William. The hardest thing in Decentraland is lack of people. So we really hope that the amount of people who are using metaverses, I mean, not only Decentraland, but the whole metaverses, I hope so that it will rise dramatically very soon with the help of VR technologies, especially because, if we are talking about the metaverse, we are talking about the next generation of interaction. I mean, that Web 3.0 is concept that blends our physical and digital existence, and it helps us to bring the technology from the two-dimension environments into immersive and interactive 3D environment, and this is the main advantage of the metaverse. But still, we are waiting for the mass adoption of the metaverses around the world. So when this will happen, I think that it will be much more easier to do business in metaverse. So, and another advantage which I should mention, yes, is that metaverses, they are like very scalable and they are very autonomous. So this helps business to rise and very fast. So this is like a main idea. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, and Jan, what will be your take on that? So would be interesting to hear your feedback. Like, what do you think overall, like doing business in Decentraland, overall metaverses, like has some future or not? And yeah.
Well, I'm super excited. And the reason, and I agree with all the points that have been stated about the fact that we need mass adoption, but I think we're going to get it. And I think we're going to get it through the route of the video game. I think that what's been shown as a very popular use case has been Fortnite and the ability of people to visit this metaverse, so to speak, and then to enjoy not only the video game play, but more importantly, shows and events and fairs. So I think over time, once we can add value to our Decentraland events, people will come. They'll just say, give me the URL. Yeah, I've never been to Decentraland before, but I just want to see Travis Scott do a concert. I just want to see Madonna or Lady Gaga or whoever do a concert. So I think that really we're at this cusp right now. I think we're going to see it at the Super Bowl. I think the Super Bowl is actually going to do a couple of things where they're going to be in a virtual land metaverse at the same time that they are in the real world. And I think it's just a matter of time. And so what's really important for us all to do right now is get ready for that. Get our web developers in line, get the people that can build our project in line, get our metaverse land bought and ready to go. Because I think at that point in time, we're not only going to be making money flipping our land, but also renting it out for short and long-term events. So I see Decentraland, it's my favorite metaverse out there, as a huge opportunity. And it's all we get to do right now is just get ready for it. Because like you said, there's not as many people there as we want them to be right now. So let's take advantage of this part. And I think within the next year or two, it's just going to blow up.
That's actually like great take on this. So I'll quickly also comment my side. So basically, like at this moment, I think all who are inside trying to bring in all the people and show them that like in the metaverse, you can do the business. It's just not only for games, and it's like doing business and having fun at the same time, how I see it. And basically, that's what this conference is also all about, right? We are showcasing other people that you can host amazing conferences even in Decentraland. Like you should see like how inside we have amazing listeners. They are dressed up so cool. I'm taking like screenshots like almost every 5 seconds. So it's great experience to see all these things happening in, right? And basically we need some time and we need some resources also to spend on it. And sooner or later it will become a reality. But yeah, but we don't know when, right? But we should be waiting for it. And it leads me to my kind of next question is that what do you see is the path to revenue and profitability in Decentraland? So basically right now, yeah, like doing business is good, but every business final goal is to make some revenue, make some profit, and etc. So I want to like see your intake of you, William, and Mr. V, how you think like when it will be actually possible first, like how like landowners who already bought their land, how should they like get some revenue going in, and the businesses who are inside and the vendors, when they're gonna start like making the revenues, right, and some profitability. So yeah, like whoever wants to start, you are welcome. So we can start with like Mr. V, and then go to Jan and then William. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Nada. So from my part and from the part of MetaAds, I think that revenue, I mean, in case of landowners, you can generate it from marketing and from events, because events is the main part of the metaverses right now, and they really do generate traffic. So the main idea for brands, yes, who come to the landowners, is that they need to find an engagement and awareness of people, of citizens of the metaverses. And for brands, it is also very important to find like special events. So that's why some companies they are dedicated to this approach, and they choose like one-time special event, and they are really glad to find out a really great places in Decentraland. I mean, from the part of the landowner, they need to provide the brands with very special places which they build in Decentraland. I mean, and of course, it is very necessary for brands to receive all these marketing opportunities from landowners. So if we talk about landowners, they need to develop their land, they need to be creative, they need to cooperate with each other, they need to cooperate with media agencies, they need to cooperate with creators, and they need to launch their NFTs. And it's kind of a synergy, because when they are when people do the same job and they do it together, and this synergy brings a real result. So for the Decentraland, I think the main purpose is networking, and networking with all the people, with all the actors who are present at this market. So this is like the main idea of how you should develop your land. Thank you.
Thanks. So William, what will be your take on that? Like,
sure. So I have a lot to say here. Being around Decentraland since 2019, the biggest problem that we've solved, or we're trying to solve with our platform, is basically the trilemma. So essentially, we have a bunch of landowners who put a lot of money. They own a bunch of land in Decentraland, but they don't have the ability to create engaging content on top of that land, right? And so that's the first part of the trilemma. The second part is we have developers who have the ability to create content, but most of them don't have any land. And then the third part is, well, we got people in the metaverse, right? They're running around Decentraland with not a whole lot of stuff to do. And so this trilemma sort of manifested pretty much on day one with the launch of the beta. And so we realized this pretty quickly, and we were like, well, my brother who ended up building all of MetaZone, he's a developer, right? He knew this pretty quickly. He was like, okay, let's just create something where we can have creators come in and make content, and we'll make it easy to distribute that content throughout different lands. And so since then, we've generated over 4 million mana, and most of it has gone to the creators. And we realized that we need to focus on technology to make it easy for developers specifically, at least in the early days, to be able to create content, engaging content, games, but in a way that fits the kind of the business model that would work for the metaverse. And what I mean by that is we need to create content that is easily distributable across multiple lands. So a lot of the stuff that we see in Decentraland is you buy a bunch of land, you pay some developers to create content on that land, and then you bring people to that land, which is a good model. But I think there's an easier path to revenue for all creators, where instead of making a game where you come and focus to a single location in Decentraland, make a game that is distributable across multiple locations. So you can have an RPG game that is hosted by 50 different lands. In order to progress in this RPG game, you go to the different lands hosting the game itself, and you progress and you level up, and every time you interact with this content, the landowner is getting a piece of the loot. The landowner is getting a piece of the transaction, whatever it is. And we feel like this is the business model that is more sustainable than what we could come up with. And so far it's working. So we have a project called Rovi.ai. You just type it into the address bar there, just hit enter. And this is like a P2P project that is a game that is distributable across multiple lands. And this is just a showcase product just to show what we think is going to be more sustainable. And we want others to create similar projects like that. But that's the main point to take away, is that we need to create content that is distributable so that you align the landowners, you align the players, the creators, the people that are pushing the events themselves. Everyone is aligned to push a single, creation that is distributed across several lands. So that's kind of how we see the most sustainable business model today. But yeah, just happy to hear everyone else's thoughts on that and their own version of what we think is going to be sustainable.
Okay, so I'll address to Ian, and then I will kind of finally say my opinion. So yeah.
Great. Well, listen, I absolutely love that comment by William. Interoperable, right? That's what the promise was, that this decentral world that we think of as blockchain. So I'm really excited for that. I will say this, being a lawyer and an entrepreneur, and I counsel NFT projects and virtual land projects all the time. I'm a member of Republic Realm, which is one of the largest virtual land holders in the world. I will say this, that interoperable is awesome. I think it takes some technical know-how that a lot of people don't have just yet. A lot of brands don't have just yet. But what I always talk about, the fact is, I try to center people on existing use cases that they understand, an analogy, and then just try to bring that over into the metaverse. So people understand websites. People understand that you go to a website. So what I talk to brands about is I just say, listen, it's like 10 grand, right? It's like a 10 grand investment. You get some virtual land and Decentraland, Sandbox, Somnium Space, whatever it is. You get developers, and right now developers are awesome. There's so many of them. They're growing. They don't know what to charge now. It's like the wild west. But you can get, like, I built my Corzine club for like $2,500 using a developer. So you could get existing places for these people to go. And I think that at some point in time, people will really be drawn in to just having a pointer, whether it be a URL or some sort of address that they can go straight to and interact with people. Because ultimately, what the big promise, besides interoperability, is community. So they want to go to a place where there's other people there to hang out with. So I do think that interoperable is definitely the future, but I also see a big place for a location to go to. And if you can offer enough value, go here and you're going to get a free $1,000 NFT. Go here and you're going to get a concert that you couldn't see anywhere else. Go here and you're going to get to see this movie that's a week before it comes out in the theaters. If you give people this upcoming value, they'll do it. They'll just type it into the browser and they'll go, and they'll learn on the fly. Oh, I didn't know Decentraland you control with your keyboard or whatever. I didn't know in Somnium Space you could use virtual reality goggles. They'll just learn. But if you have to make it worth their time. So that's what I talk to brands about is, let's forget about all the logistics. What is an awesome offer that's going to draw people? And then once you get that, you build everything from that, and it's actually cheap.
Yeah, that's actually like amazing point of view. I love like how we discuss these things, because all of us are having like different backgrounds doing business in Web3. And I also want to mention that I totally agree with your opinions, and I myself like trying hard to bring traditional brands inside the Decentraland and Metaverses, spending lots of time and explaining to them what is the Metaverse, so they can be spending some time creating unique experiences for the people. And they have vast majority of customers in real life in social medias like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, right? So I'm trying to like create some kind of quests for them where they will be telling their users, hey, go to Sandbox, find this, and then log in back in Decentraland, do that, and then go to another game, right? So basically, like, also like more people and more interesting content will bring more people. And one of the examples is also like this event, which can be all only here inside the Decentraland, and we have these amazing people who will be presenting their projects. So yeah, like thanks a lot for answering these amazing questions. I also want to go to Mr. V and William, because we had this, like, we all of us three are kind of trying, had some ideas of advertising in the metaverse and bringing in some brands and etc. That's how we met each other, right? So that's what I love about this space. We don't see each other as a competitors. We just see each other as a partners, right? So that's what I want to spread and take your, like, say your opinions about it also, because we know how it is in real world, right? So everybody fights, competes, and etc. So here, because we are very early and we are very little people inside, small amount of people inside, we're just kind of shaking hands and helping each other out. So yeah, I want to go to Mr. V and say what he thinks about, like, if helping hands will be helping more businesses come in into metaverses, especially in Decentraland.
Yes, thank you very much, Noda. Actually, Decentraland and metaverses, especially for vendors, it is like a blue ocean, because there are not as many people who are trying to do their businesses in metaverses. So you were correct when you told us that we are not like competitors, like in real business. But if we are going to the real life business, actually, many businesses, even if they are competitors, they keep on negotiating and helping each other. So it's a normal practice, actually. So from my side, I would like to say that at the very beginning, it all comes to the partnerships. It all comes to helping each other in business development, especially in our exhibition. You can see like loads of vendors, and sometimes you don't even compete with them, because, as I told earlier, there is like a synergy effect. And for example, from my side, from my company, I can come media agencies or to the guys who are creating the events, and we can partnership together, and we will get for surely 1000% win-win strategy. Because for example, we are not hosting events, but other guys do hosting events. So if we cooperate, we can bring a great and really exclusive product. And this product will help brands, for example, to enter the metaverses, and in future this will help metaverses to have like a mass adoption. So this is like my main idea. So if you are doing stuff in Decentraland, you need to cooperate with the other guys, because right now it all comes to partnership.
Thanks.
Yes, I totally agree. Mr. V said it best. I think it's more about the kind of discovery of sustainable business models in a way. Like, say, for example, there's a group in Decentraland that let's say in this hypothetical situation that they have sort of like a dance competition. And all of a sudden, you know, they get 100 people show up, and then next week they get 150, and then it starts taking off. All of a sudden, there's like 500 people showing up every single time for this dance competition. What do you think everybody's going to do in Decentraland? They're going to come up with their own emotes, and they're going to battle in this dance competition. And that's because for some reason, it happened to hit the zeitgeist. People seem to like this sort of activity in Decentraland, so people are going to copy it. And that's the exact right thing to do, right? We got to figure out something that is going to engage people, and then just and figure out ways to have others participate. And when it comes to things like that, we all have to kind of collaborate and figure out what is going to be that sticky thing in the metaverse. And when you think about like the Web2 space, Reddit is the front page of the internet, and you basically post some sort of article, you post some sort of thought, and it gets some traction. We got to find that particular activity for the metaverse. It could be just coming together, listening to some DJs or watching some digital art, some artists explain their art. Like, we need to find that thing that people can, millions of people can interact with. And being this early on, I think we all have to kind of collaborate, do partnerships, and figure out what that thing is going to be, so that by the time millions of people do show up, they'll have some sort of activity, they'll have some sort of thing that people do in the metaverse. And so yeah, I don't think it's about competition. It's more about us collaborating and figuring out what is that sticky thing going to be. And maybe Ian said it best, it's probably going to be games. And but games require developers, and it's a little bit more difficult, but nonetheless, it could be that.
Just to add my 2 cents in there, thank you, William, so much. I totally agree with William, what he's saying. And I think that besides games, it's social media. I mean, I've been praying, and I know it's going to happen, that in the next few months or so, there's going to be that TikToker that is going to do that dance in the metaverse, in Somnium space, let's say. And that's going to blow it up. It's going to happen. There's just no question in my mind. For the longest time, I'm sure everyone in Decentraland now has been frustrated with all the negative press that Metaverse and Web3 get. But I don't know if you've been reading the articles. I read them every single day. And now the take is this, is like, Mark Zuckerberg's Metaverse is so lame. But then we tried the goggles, and no, it's actually not as bad as we thought. And then the next article goes, yeah, if you guys don't like Meta, I understand, but have you tried the new Meta Quest Pros? It's pretty amazing. We're starting to see this tide with the media. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to have some influencers out there, whether they be music artists or digital artists, or just like influencers, just like Charlie D'Amelio is going to show up on a TikTok, and it's going to blow up the use case. So I totally agree. Let's collaborate. Any success of an influencer or an artist in our Web3 metaverse space is going to mean our success. I don't think we worry about it. I literally think we put it aside and let our higher power deal with all that stuff. I think what we do now is we spend the time building the infrastructure. So when that wave comes, when that gold rush comes, I got 100,000 shovels and I could pass them out and make a whole lot of money in the process. So I'm super excited. I really am. I'm like, when in my life have I been early to some sort of huge trend? And this is one of them. And I'm just, like I said before, I'm just building right now and hoping that it comes soon.
Great, amazing. So I'm so happy, like we all for the same page, and this kind of collaborations will bring to new innovations, and we are these early adopters, we are pioneers, and our collaboration will lead us to something new. And we have like 3 more minutes left, and I'm gonna check if we have some questions from the people. Okay, okay, so we don't have any questions from the auditory at this moment. So if you would like to say some final notes or some final topics, I would be happy to discuss. And after that, we will move to next vendor who will present his or his project. Yeah, so you guys can have like final notes, 30 seconds each to say final words on this panel, and then we're gonna close it down. Jan, you can start.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess I just want to be really precise here. I think that everybody watching out there, I implore you, this is the time. Grab this Web3, this metaverse by the horns, and realize this is the future. When has there been a time when you've been early in the market? When have you guessed the housing market? So you made a lot of money, probably missed it. When have you guessed the internet as far as Web 2 goes? Were you on time? Were you doing online courses and all sorts of stuff when it became really popular? Probably not. This is your opportunity to do it. What do you do to be able to get yourself in a position? Figure out what your skills are. Are you a graphic artist? Can you learn a game builder application on Sandbox or Decentraland or Somnium Space or Superworld or whatever? Can you offer your services as a gig worker and make money that way? Or do you want to create a virtual community? Do you have a special skill set? Do you have arts? Do you want to start this is the time of Web3 community platforms, like I talk about in my online course, Metaverse Beginnings. And you really should take this time, because I think that if you are able to grab one of these opportunities, I have no doubt that you are going to be financially independent. You are going to be awesome, because there's no one out there. We're before early adopters. So if you get in this game very soon, I think you'll do really well financially. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, Mr. William, anything to say finally, just to close down the panel?
Okay, I will say, I would like to invite people to metaverses, because metaverses are really awesome. Join us, be flexible, do your targets, and just enjoy being in metaverses, because metaverses experience is really awesome. And thank you for visiting the VRS Mall conference. Thank you very much. And thank you guys. I mean, Jan, Noda, William, you are really great guys. It was a pleasure to work with you and to communicate during this panel. It's an awesome experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and all I'll say is I want to thank Nodo, Ian, and Mr. V for coming on and having a chat about the metaverse. And I want to piggyback again on what Ian is saying is now's the time to develop the skills. Meta just recently, like in the last quarter, they announced that they're going to make, basically $250 billion investment in the metaverse in the next 10 years. Wow. There's never been a time where a company has decided to make such a huge investment in anything. And so $250 billion is a lot of money. And there's a ton of these huge institutions predicting that the metaverse industry is going to be anywhere from 1 to 6 trillion. This guy from Matthew Ball, he's predicting 30 to 60 trillion dollars. Like, now's the time. And like Ian says, like, you guys are early. If you're listening right now, it's time to build skills, build content, build anything that you want the metaverse to be, build it. And yeah, that's my message. Okay, so thanks a lot, William. Thanks everybody, Jan, Mr. V, for joining in. So it was an amazing panel. You guys can leave the Zoom and we're gonna move to the next vendor who will be presented. Actually, it will be me. It will be very strange that I will be hosting and presenting at the same time my project and company. But yeah, I'm cheerful. It's the first time I'm doing like that. So yeah, I will be waiting your questions. And yeah, we are closing down this panel. Thanks a lot for joining in, and see you again in Metaverse or in real life. So you should always specify. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye, Jan. Nice. Thank you for joining in. Okay, so now we're gonna invite Meta on the stage. And before that, I will be asking to Mr. V to the Zoom, if he hears me. Yeah. Okay. So we are starting now. I will be presenting MetaView, our project, and I hope everybody sees us. And please be chilled out, listen nicely, and I will be happy to answer any of your questions. I will be sharing now my screen, and we'll be starting my presentation. So yeah, so first of all, my name is Nodo. I'm founder of MetaView.io, first advertising marketplace for metaverses. And I'm so happy today I will be presenting this company to you, because it is one of my youngest childs as my companies, and I spend days and nights building MetaView and delivering value to our amazing community. So how MetaView got started, right? Actually, it all started with like getting requests from different advertisers. I was working with them in real life. They wanted somehow to get onboarded in metaverses. And basically, like, 1 year ago, this idea just came to my head. What can I bring value to this amazing community in metaverses that I know better of? So in real life, I have advertising business which connects physical landowners to advertisers. So I'm doing it like for 8 years, expanded it in 22 countries, had amazing connections with big advertising agencies and advertisers. And I got involved in Web3 2 years ago when I first bought land in Decentraland and get connected to amazing community. So I thinking like, basically, I'm going to transfer the same business model with MetaView, but connect digital landowners to big advertisers with our amazing advertising marketplace, and bring lots of value to our community members, landowners who are inside the platform, and at the same time onboard big advertising brands and make them spend money into the metaverses. So that's how we started MetaView, right? And how it works. It's very simple. We treat all our landowners as our business partners. We help them increase and help you increase your land utility by simply connecting to our marketplace. And MetaView Marketplace connects you with wide range of brands and advertisers. And also, if you host some of the billboards on your land and connect it to MetaView Marketplace, you will be able to generate from 85 to 95% of revenue generated on your land. So basically, like, you are our business partner, and we try hard to bring as many international brands and companies into your land and utilize it better. And main benefits working with us as a landowner or land operator is that we offer you all the control. We kind of advertisements you want to see. You have the control on daily prices on your own billboards. It's easy to join. You don't have to do anything. We will bring advertisers for you. You just need to relax and see advertisers coming in on your land. And you are becoming our business partner, right? And we have some highest revenue sharing rates on the market. And what we are trying at this moment is the aggregating marketplace for advertisers and landowners in different metaverses. So basically, we are connecting these two parts, and we are putting lots of our effort into it, connecting those two different parties of world, like landowners, game operators, and advertisers who first time, some of them even never heard about Metaverse, but we are educating them hardly. Next one is what we have done so far. We have launched MetaView in the beginning of August. We have serviced around 15 brands as advertisers. So our community members and landowners are happy about it. Partnered with leading advertising agencies and educating them on daily basis. Even like next, at the end of the month, I'm flying to Barcelona to gather one of our advertising partners, speaking about MetaView in front of big brands like Kellogg, Mars, Coca-Cola, Nike, and etc. And at this moment, we are trying hard educating those big brands and advertising agencies so they can be bringing in more ads in 2023. We collaborated with more than 60 amazing projects, and I'm happy about it. We are always open for amazing partnerings and growing the network, and we expanded in other metaverses and games. So basically, like, our main idea at this moment is to become the largest marketplace aggregator for advertising, and on the other side as a channel with landowners from different metaverses and game builders of different interesting platform or different kind of games which are built on blockchain. And basically this sets all what I wanted to say, and I want to thank our early members, OG members who trusted us, who supported us, who believe our vision and our long vision into it. And I want to thank all of them. And yeah, we have many of them, but I couldn't fit all of them in one slide. And thank you all one more time. Without your involvement and your support, MetaView wouldn't be at the same stage as we are now at this moment. And going forward, that's our plan. So we are committed to invest more into it, move forward, increase the channel, bring in more advertisers, adding more and more locations in Decentraland and other metaverses, and becoming the go-to marketplace for metaverse and in-game advertising. So basically, that's where our main focus is going on at this moment. Also constantly innovating to create amazing experiences, not just billboard advertising, but we always started working with amazing advertising experiences, which will be interesting both for landowners and for advertisers, because I myself don't want to see only billboards in metaverses. I want to see integrated, native-looking advertising experiences, which can be done, and we are working hard about it. Yeah, so I will be happy to hear your questions. Thanks a lot. Actually, it was very first time I was doing facilitation of this conference and also talking about our company MetaView, but I would be more than happy to hear all of your questions if you might have some. So if some of you might have some questions, I will be glad to reply. And also, I will write down in the chat MetaView Twitter page. You can follow us or join us anytime. And also, I will drop down my Twitter page just for you to follow me, ask me any question. You can also DM me anytime to the Discord. Okay. So basically, at this moment, we are represented in Decentraland, in Sandbox, and we are in negotiation with upcoming couple metaverses. There are around 5 of them. We have partnered up with Commerce, Surgeons, Metaverse, and there are like lots of lists of them. Most of them are launching in 2023. So we did like partnerships early on so that we could offer to big advertisers which kind of channel we have. And basically, we are happy that our channel is increasing in, and we are always inviting landowners to join our marketplace. They don't have to do anything. You just need to log in on our marketplace. You don't have to mint any NFT of us. Our MetaView is fully funded by ourselves, and we are not depending on minting. We are not just usual project. It's a serious business we are doing in Web3, and we are using our experience from Web2 and experience from Web3 to make this happen. And also I want to shout out for Carl for setting this conference. We were like doing a lot of talks to make this happen, and we want to make this almost yearly event. This is just a start, and I'm sure we're gonna be seeing more and more vendors coming in, and we always gonna support each other what we do at this early stage. And I'm very happy to have opportunity to speaking with you today, and I will be happy to hear more of your questions. And also, I'm gonna write my personal Twitter handle. I'm always around, so if some landowners want to talk to me, get more information, you can always reach out to me via Discord or Twitter. So I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thanks, thanks, Sugar Club. We're gonna bring them in after this conference. So basically, that's my motivation, right? As a fellow landowner myself in different metaverses, I'm trying to bring additional and big brands into it, right? So they have the money, they are spending lots of money in digital advertising. Why not to make them spend at least like 15–10% into metaverse advertising? So yeah, that's my main motivation. So basically now I'm gonna quickly go to the closing part of my speech, and I will be inviting in 1 minute next project, which is amazing project. I'm gonna invite Key from Sugar Club. I love what he's doing, and actually I would love to hear more, because fun is the main driver of every business, every environment. If we don't have fun, we get all bored, right? So I'm inviting Key to join the Zoom, and we will be ready to start his presentation. Key, if you hear me, please join the Zoom. And also want to say, like, if we will have some mistakes or some technical problems, it's just first event we are doing like this. It's very exciting, and please stay till the end of the event. We have amazing vendors coming in now, so yeah. And Key is also joining in shortly. Please don't leave. Okay. Kay is here. Okay.
You hear me? You see me? I'm not sure.
Kay is here.
Oh, share my screen.
Yeah,
No.
and also please mute the Decentraland, because we're gonna get this voice here. Yeah, and also please mute the.
Okay, muted.
Okay, great, amazing. So we don't see you, and also we don't see your screen.
Oh yeah, one sec.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, happy to see you on the stage. That's amazing. So you can share your screen and start presenting.
Yeah.
Just to remind everybody, it's Kay from Sugar Club, amazing project, and I'll let you speak.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for moderating, Nodo. Also, thanks to Carl to invite me to speak. I'm not big on speaking. I'm more of a content creator, so I'm gonna keep it short. I have a little PowerPoint here. They're basically just talking about the history of Sugar Club and some of the things we do. So 1 second, I'm just gonna put it on. Oh, I need to share, right? Share the screen. 1 sec.
Yes.
This is all new to me, all this Zoom.
No worries. It's like how we bring the conferences. So we are all friends here, and that's what I like about this conference, because even we don't have experience of speaking, or if you don't like speaking, nobody gonna judge us, and we're just gonna friendly talk, right? So that's what I like about this space. So yeah, screen is shared.
Okay. I think I got it. You see it?
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay, great. So this is my little presentation of Sugar Club. Let's see. So who are we? Sugar Club is one of the very first clubs deployed in Decentraland. We've been active, well, pretty much since the first days that we could deploy anything in Decentraland. So 2019, I think it was, when we started to be, well, being able to actually deploy content in Decentraland. And we were the first to explore the possibilities of live entertainment, art, and fashion. The club is an iconic location on the map, and yeah, arguably one of the oldest active scenes deployed in the game. We strive to be a fun, exclusive brand in the metaverse while creating great content. Our area of particular interest is electronic music, live shows, digital fashion, and visual arts experiences, while we keep our doors open for future collaborations within the Web3 industry. It's actually really nice to see MetaZone here also. We were really one of their early collaborators when they started to launch their marketplace. We were very active with MetaZone in the beginning. So let's see. So what do? We're interested in metaverse branding. I was the creator of Sugar Club, and the idea of Sugar Club as a brand, actually, not just a club, but as a brand that can combine these different aspects of art, fashion, music. So we specialize in creating events. We manage all the events. So I create all the poster art, the networking for the artists that are playing at the club during the events, and the marketing on Twitter, on Instagram, on socials. We also specialize in wearable creation, and most recently now in emote creations. So this is fairly new. I think it came live, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month or two ago. And actually, my past professional experience was as a professional dancer. I danced professionally in companies internationally for many, many years. So I think this is kind of cool to be able to now create emotes and movements in the metaverse. Yeah, and so we also focus on 3D design and meta architecture. So let me see, a brief history of our presence in Decentraland. So we were active since 2017, actually, as an ICO land investor. We had no idea if Decentraland, I mean, I had no idea if Decentraland was going to survive or not, but I was excited early on about the idea of having a project where you could do gaming and social interactions, all tied with NFTs and crypto. So I was an early supporter. As soon as we could create content, I was on board, and we were the first build that focused on music and arts, like I said before. And we've been, so now it's been already 3 years of operations in Decentraland, quite a journey. We've seen many ups and downs, many roadblocks, many different communities coming and going, but we're still here. So let's see. Some of our milestones we did was onboarding quite early on NFT artists and DJs in Decentraland. We had some pretty successful wearable drops for big NFT brands like Hoodie, 3D, Graffiti Kings Collective in the UK, and most recently Consensus. We created a cyberpunk jacket for their hackathon in Paris this year. We also built one of the first female collections, Yumi, that was before the Polygon wearables, that was anime inspired. And yeah, we were one of the first scenes to explore the concept of VIP access in a Decentraland scene. So the Sugar Club ecosystem, very quick. Basically, we have a gallery space, we have a main stage downstairs, and then we have quite a big VIP section. The totality of the club, in terms of streams, audio streams, we have 5 lounges. So each lounge has its own audio stream as a trigger box and a kind of different experience, let's say. We have 2 main video live streams, one on the main stage downstairs and in VIP. When you're all the way to the top, there is a big video screen. Now recently this year we managed to figure out the Polygon NFT ticket VIP access. So for people interested in entering VIP that don't have a wearable, they can buy a cheap Polygon ticket to enter. So here you can see the early Sugar Club concept. This was one of the first designs, kind of a dome open structure with a platform where a DJ could you know, the idea was that a DJ could be playing and then people could gather on the platform. That was the beginning concept of Sugar Club. Here I'm just showcasing some old events, and here you see, for example, QR codes, because in the early days, the first year or two, we didn't have access to hyperlinking. There was no way to link directly into Decentraland, so I was relying on a lot of QR codes so that artists could put their their websites as a QR codes during the events, and people with their phones could, just use the QR code to get to the website. So this was early Decentraland, and I think it's nice to remember this because the platform keeps on evolving all the time, and things change a lot. You see here Shibu, the creative director of Decentraland, just participating in one of my early events. Here you see a graffiti wall, a collaboration with Graffiti Kings Collective. Here, more past events, from 2020, 2021, some of my earlier events and POAPs. We hosted CoinFest and blockchain gaming for 2 consecutive years in 2020 and 2021. Kony Digital, a very famous brand and artist in the NFT scene. We were onboarding him. He was the first artist we really tried to onboard in Decentraland. And it was very nice to work with him. You see here a feature. He made a really nice tag, Sugar Club, and this is his art. This is just a feature of our latest jacket we did for Consensus, a cyberpunk design. And what else? Here you can see the design we did for Coldy 3D, also very famous NFT artist. We created his branded 3D glasses concept, a very nice collaboration. So the roadmap for next year, we are in the process of applying for a DAO grant at the moment. So if you feel like supporting us, you can hop onto the DAO page and just support us. We will also be joining the development efforts for the 𝒔𝒑𝒐𝒐 club in Ethereum with Carl. We're actually super excited about this. 𝒔𝒑𝒐𝒐 is in need of development. Apparently, it's a concept that has been a little bit put aside for the moment, and I will be super excited to work on the idea of developing 𝒔𝒑𝒐𝒐 for Ethereum. And we have an idea to develop and to organize a community event around electronic music for next year with different venues of Decentraland. Called memes, so electronic music events. Nice. So this is it for my presentation. I think if you guys have questions, just put them in the chat box and I can answer them.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for amazing presentation. I was almost like getting very emotional starting like in 2019, like 3 years doing the club. You survived so many bear markets and still doing this amazing job. And what I like the most is that you are doing it with emotionally, and you have the experience of entertainment and dancing from the real life. And I can be coming with first question if before people will write in. So yeah, like my question is that what was your kind of first first idea back in 2019 when you were starting club in Decentraland, and what reactions you were getting from people? Were they thinking you were crazy, or what? Just tell us your kind of beginning story. So it's very interesting to know.
You mean with the community in Decentraland, yes, or with
outside?
People
outside. Yeah, outside.
Well, they didn't fully understand what was going on, and it's fine. Even my wife had a hard time understanding what I was busy with. But I don't know. I'm a creative person and I like new ideas. So when I saw the possibility of creating content in Decentraland and what it was offering, I just went on board, and just learning the tools necessary to create content in Decentraland. It took me quite a while actually to really get the workflow, because I don't come from coding. I don't come from naturally 3D design. This was all very new to me. So I had to, learn the basics of 3D modeling, texturing, coding, the SDK. All of those different aspects were super new to me. But, I just started, trying stuff and getting help from the community, and slowly, little by little, just building.
That's amazing. I love it. And one last question, because I think nobody wrote it yet from my side before we invite the speaker, is that do you think like on the future side, people will be like having this kind of hybrid parties, like partying in Metaverse, also in the real life? So how you see like future in terms of like having fun in Metaverses, especially in Decentraland, because you have the like longest history club in
I think first of all, it's really nice to see that since about a year and a half, we have more and more clubs coming. And this evolution is incredible, because in the beginning, I was the only one. I was the only one trying to push the idea of a club. Come to the club, let's dance, let's have DJs. I was the first to do this. And little by little, it just kind of caught on, the idea. And I think at some point it just exploded. And now you have some really cool venues that are super active now. And so the ecosystem has grown a lot in terms of the clubbing. And I would even argue that clubbing and the entertainment in Decentraland is one of the main activities. I mean, you have the casinos, you have some of the games, but clubbing is one of the big pillars at the moment for Decentraland. So I think it's interesting what you're saying. If we could have real live parties and then live stream directly in Decentraland and having this kind of bridge, surely it's probably possible in the future.
Sure. Yes, thanks a lot for amazing presentation. First of all, nice answers to all the questions. And I will let you go from the Zoom, but stay inside the Decentraland, and I will be inviting our next speaker now, who is Karl Frauel. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Kate. Thanks for coming. Please leave the Zoom. And I'm gonna invite now Karl Frauel, main person who originated this amazing conference. I think he doesn't need any introduction from me. Everybody knows him. He's real OG of Metaverses. And I'm gonna let Karl speak, and he has amazing presentation. Karl, please welcome on the stage. And I'm happy to see you again, and I'll let you speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
So I'm going to actually give a slideshow. Does it come up on the screen? I'm waiting to see if it shows up there. Did I share?
No.
Oh, no, I didn't share. That's the problem. It would help if I hit the green button. And I'm going to hit this one here and share, and then put this there and do the slideshow. There we go. I think that'll do it.
Everything visible now.
Yes. Okay. So my name is Karl Frauel. Been around for a while here, and those of you who don't know, I've been doing technology since the early 70s. I am 70 years old, but going strong. I have a business called Applied Talent, which I've had for a number of years, and my participation in Decentraland has been a combination of providing services and technologies. And so a brief bio. well, maybe it's not so brief. I'm not going to read everything in it, but basically my career has been a mixture of technology, business. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've started a number of businesses. And what's key here is that I was invited to be an advisor to Decentraland in the summer of 2017. So I've been around since before the ICO, helping them with onboarding the folks. And they asked me to teach them about other virtual worlds. So having a lot of experience in Second Life, I took them on tour, took Esteban and Ari on a tour of Second Life and showed them a bunch of stuff and brainstormed with them about how they wanted to do things similarly and differently than some of the other virtual worlds. And so I contributed to 9 districts, and I'm on the district leadership team of several of them. The conference center I founded, Etheria and VRS districts, I assist with the leadership team, and I advise some other districts as well. I provided a number of services to the Decentraland community. Most of these have been like gratis, pro bono, but I'm beginning to earn some money doing some of them, and that's a nice transition. People are talking about like when are things going to get big? When are they going to be successful? A lot of people that you might think of as overnight sensations, that was like followed by, preceded by 20 years of hard work. So be patient and work hard for the future. The things that I do is I host conferences and events in the conference center, which I founded. I've done a lot of training and education and mentoring of various people in Decentraland. I have built a lot of technologies that enhance scenes for my own builds and for other people's. I've been an advisor to a number of the districts, some business startups in Decentraland, and to various scene builders, especially people who know how to create design and 3D, but don't know how to do the technology to make the scenes interactive. So I've helped a number of scene builders in that respect. I assist with the management, not only of the conference center, obviously, but also of Etheria and the virtual reality systems district. And I have leased out land both from Etheria and the conference center, but also some of my private land. And that actually works. We're looking forward to there being platforms to automate that more, but you can just sign up a contract and rent the land and it works. Here's a not quite complete list of the technologies that I have made for various scenes. All of these are deployed in various scenes in the conference center. I monitor the traffic, who comes to events, etc. I have a very richly featured cinema system that is in several theaters in Decentraland, including 2 in the conference center. Sound system DJ console, most obviously visible in the Unity Cafe. I have tip jars around the conference center in various places, and much of the land is covered with a modular building design. Most of my scenes now, the configuration is data-driven from databases in the cloud. I can now collect payments, including with PayPal. I can do event ticketing, put up signage, data-driven signage. Guestbook can record any kinds of events that go on in a scene. I've made an improved version of the Pope dispenser, although usually I distribute Popes after the event, so the dispenser can't get rated, which does happen. I have an admission manager that controls who can do what in a scene, or whether people can enter the scene for private events. Dance Automator, which you can see in the Unity Cafe. I made an improved NFT display, although it looks like Decentraland broke animated thumbnails of NFTs in the last week. I have to talk to them about that. I have some movie theaters. Obviously I do a lot of event hosting. Have an art gallery in the conference center that has a number of shows that have been shown in there. And I recently started moving the cloud services to Docker and Kubernetes so that they're scalable, and that scaling is automatic now. First event in the conference center was February of 2020, the grand opening, just days after the world went live. And we hosted the first fashion show in Decentraland. I've held many hosted many events and meetings, company meetings, team meetings, etc. in the conference center. We have this Grand Theater, we have 2 other amphitheaters, we have the expo field, and about a dozen other venues that can be used for conferences. We have 2 operating theaters, and with Steve Deary, who goes by Pondweed Productions, has partnered with me in hosting film festivals. I think we've hosted about 10 film festivals now in the Star Cinema Theater. And they're basically create the opportunity for a film festival that may be small and local to have a global reach. Because I do traffic monitoring, I'm able to give them good stats on how many people attended. DJ Rose Alexi from Brazil does weekends in the Unity Cafe of music and dancing every week. You can find the events for that under Unity in the Decentraland event calendar. The gallery has rotating art exhibits. It's just south of the Star Cinema. I set up a Lotus Temple that's a replica of the Baha'i Temple in New Delhi. It's just a place in the middle of the conference center where you can go to rest from all this information. And the rates for the use of the conference center are on its website. There's the link. It's pretty easy to remember, Decentraland Conference Center, DCLConf. This is a snapshot of the setup for the fashion show that was held in early 2020. We had a lot of people come with very early wearables, and it was great fun. This is an early conference, a international network of hackathons operated by women, and Vitalik Buterin was one of the keynote speakers. This was held in the meeting center in the conference center. Here's a picture from one of our weekend dancing. This was before the dance automator was installed, so everybody's just kind of standing unless he hit the emote button. But the dance automator now has everybody dancing all the time. Here's a free course that I created in 2020 and ran live during the summer of 2020. A lot of people have gone through this course and have gone on to become, some of the great builders in Decentraland. The course is still available for free online. If you go to the conference center website, tclconf.com, and go to the blog, go back to the May 17th, 2020 blog item. That's what you're looking at here, and there's a link to the course. It's a Google Doc with instructional material and links to the videos that were done during the live course. And if you finish the course, you get a diploma. So if you're interested in learning more about that, be in touch. So the contact information to reach me, I'm best reached on Discord. You can reach me, you can connect with me through, if you haven't already, through the Decentraland or Conference Center Discord servers. I do have Twitter accounts for myself in the Conference Center. I don't use them real heavily, although we did advertise this event. And then there's the website for the Conference Center, and it has a contact form that sends me email. So there's lots of ways you can reach me. And that's it. What questions might we have?
Wow, thanks a lot, Carl. It was amazing talk, and I'm so surprised how you managed to do all those things. Like, it's crazy, right? So you are able
it's not my day job. I have a full-time day job.
Yeah, it's
I run the IT department of a marine transportation company. Although I'm gearing up to retire by the end of next year if I can, so I can do this full-time. And
you mentioned so many things during the presentations that even if it's not your day job, like it's so many, like a couple persons couldn't do it. And then what surprised me is that you are always around helping people, getting Decentraland and helping them out at the same time, working this much. So
it's a labor of love for sure.
Yeah. And I speak to so many people in Decentraland. Everybody knows you, like, and everybody respects Carl, right? It's amazing. So how you manage?
I'm giving a longer talk tomorrow towards the end of the conference in which I will talk about why I do this. So if you want to learn more about kind of my motivation and what I see for the future, come listen to the keynote.
Okay. So my question, Decentraland Conference Center. So what's your like kind of future plans about it? How you think, like how you see it developing moving forward? And we know you are building lots of things around it, but would be nice to hear future plans from your side.
In the long distance future, I need to figure out how to have it be more of a publicly operated, a company with more than just me. So I've begun to partner with certain people for parts of it, like for the theater, the film festival, and the gallery. Have partners in both of those. Rosa with the DJing, and thank you for working with me to think about future conferences hosted by the conference center rather than simply actually organized by the conference center. So what I have seen is a gradual growth of everything I'm doing in there. More film festivals, more people coming asking if they can have shows in the gallery, more events and conferences, more people coming to the dancing. So it's growing.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think how kind of pleasure feeling it might be when you do this kind of all the hard work and then you actually see the people enjoying it and seeing
Yes.
it.
Yeah. And the other thing that's changed, I think, over this last year is a lot of the early conferences. I just did them pro bono, the 𝒔𝒑𝒐𝒐 being the first one, and many others since then. But over the last year or so, I put up a rate sheet on the conference website, and people are coming in and saying, okay, so how much is it going to cost? Okay, I get that. All right, here's the conference. And they send me, some crypto or a check or something. So it's starting to actually generate some revenue, and that's very nice.
Cool. Amazing. So yeah, I think like we have like 15 more minutes before the next vendor gonna come in. Charlie, and I just want to say that everybody, you have the chance to go outside and check out the vendor expo. You can see all the stands there, but please don't leave it now because next speaker is coming very quickly. We can just like quickly take some break. It's been ongoing for like how many, 2 hours? It's crazy, right? So yeah, like
yes, your typist might need a bio break.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna thank Carl one more time for his presentation and for putting this up, and
thank you, and
we're gonna wait
really
for the
glad
next
to be
speaker
here
in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you.